Why Japan's Type 16 MCV could reshape the Philippine Army's future battlefield strategy. The growing military cooperation between the Philippines and Japan is beginning to reveal something far more significant than joint exercises and diplomatic engagements. Recent activities involving the Japan Ground Self-Defense Forces Type 16 Maneuver Combat Vehicle, MCV, operating alongside the Philippine Army's Sabra light tank have provided a glimpse into what could become the next major evolution of Philippine armored warfare doctrine. At first glance, the deployment may appear to be just another interoperability activity between allied forces. But behind the coordinated maneuvers lies a deeper strategic lesson, one that directly addresses the Philippines' unique geographical challenges and the future direction of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP. For decades, heavy tracked tanks dominated military thinking across the world. Their thick armor and powerful cannons made them symbols of battlefield superiority. However, modern warfare is changing rapidly, especially in the Indo-Pacific region where mobility, rapid deployment, and logistical flexibility are becoming increasingly important. For an archipelagic nation like the Philippines, these factors are not simply advantages, they may ultimately determine whether military forces can respond quickly enough during a crisis. The importance of mobility in an archipelagic nation. The Philippines faces a military challenge unlike many continental countries. With more than 7,000 islands spread across vast maritime territory, the AFP cannot rely solely on traditional heavy ground formations designed for large continuous land battles. Instead, Philippine forces must be capable of moving quickly between islands, reinforcing vulnerable positions, and responding to multiple simultaneous threats across geographically separated areas. This is where the concept behind Japan's Type 16 MCV becomes particularly relevant. Unlike conventional main battle tanks, the Type 16 prioritizes strategic mobility while still maintaining substantial firepower. Armed with a 105mm main gun, the vehicle possesses enough combat capability to destroy armored threats, support infantry units, and engage fortified positions. Yet despite this firepower, the Type 16 remains significantly lighter and more mobile than traditional tanks. Its wheeled configuration allows it to travel rapidly on highways and roads without relying heavily on tank transporters. This capability may appear simple, but it dramatically changes how quickly armored units can reposition during emergencies. In a country like the Philippines where military operations may require rapid deployment across long distances and varying infrastructure conditions, this advantage could become extremely valuable. The Philippine Army's existing light tank doctrine. The relevance of the Type 16 MCV becomes even more apparent when examining the Philippine Army's own modernization plans. The light tank project initiated in 2018 was never intended to focus solely on tracked armored vehicles. From the beginning, the concept envisioned a combination of tracked and wheeled armored assets capable of supporting one another. The acquisition of the Sabra light tank gave the Philippine Army a modern tracked armored platform with substantial firepower and battlefield capability. Built on both tracked and wheeled configurations depending on variant, the Sabra project represented a major leap in Philippine armored modernization. However, the broader doctrine behind the program reflected a growing understanding that no single armored platform can solve every operational requirement. Tracked tanks excel in difficult terrain and sustained combat environments. Their tracks provide superior off-road mobility and better weight distribution during heavy battlefield operations. But tracked vehicles also come with disadvantages. They consume more fuel, require greater maintenance, and often depend on specialized transport systems for long-distance movement. Roads and bridges may also face significant stress when supporting heavier tracked armor. This is why wheeled armored vehicles like the Type 16 MCV are becoming increasingly attractive to modern militaries. Why wheeled combat vehicles matter. Wheeled combat vehicles occupy a unique position between infantry fighting vehicles and traditional tanks. They combine high operational mobility with significant direct fire capability, allowing militaries to respond rapidly without sacrificing combat effectiveness. The Type 16 MCV perfectly represents this philosophy. Weighing slightly above 25 tons, it remains far lighter than most main battle tanks while still carrying a highly capable 105mm cannon. More importantly, the vehicle can move at speeds approaching 80 to 100 km per hour on roads. This speed allows units equipped with the Type 16 to respond quickly to emerging threats, conduct rapid redeployments, and reinforce forward positions before an adversary can fully establish control. For the Philippines, such mobility aligns closely with the AFP's developing archipelagic defense concept. Under this strategy, military forces must be capable of rapidly dispersing and concentrating across multiple islands depending on operational requirements. Lighter-wheeled armored vehicles could potentially deploy faster through sea-lift, airlift, or even self-deployment over existing road networks. This would give commanders more flexibility during crises involving territorial defense, disaster response, or internal security operations. Infrastructure challenges across the Philippines. One often overlooked aspect of armored warfare is infrastructure compatibility. A tank may possess exceptional firepower and protection, but if roads and bridges cannot support it efficiently, operational mobility becomes severely limited. This issue is especially important in the Philippines. Many regions across the country still possess aging bridges, narrow provincial roads, and infrastructure limitations that complicate the movement of heavy armored formations. The lighter weight of the Type 16 MCV offers a major advantage in this environment. Its wheeled design distributes weight more evenly across roads and bridges, reducing structural stress compared to heavier tracked vehicles. Meanwhile, tracked tanks like the Sabra, while highly capable in combat, may require stronger infrastructure support or dedicated transporters for certain deployments. This does not mean tracked tanks are obsolete. Far from it. Instead, it highlights why a mixed tracked and wheeled force structure may be the ideal solution for the Philippine Army. Wheeled vehicles can rapidly secure and stabilize key areas while tracked units follow to establish stronger defensive positions or conduct sustained operations. Japan's operational lessons. Japan's own defense strategy offers valuable insights into why the Type 16 was developed. The country faces increasing security concerns surrounding its southwestern island chains, including Okinawa and nearby remote territories. Deploying heavy tanks rapidly across these dispersed islands is extremely difficult due to logistical limitations and transport requirements. As a result, Japan created the Type 16 MCV specifically to provide rapidly deployable armored firepower capable of responding quickly to threats in remote areas. The vehicle can be transported more easily by air and sea compared to heavier tanks, allowing Japan to reinforce vulnerable islands with far greater speed. Meanwhile, heavier main battle tanks like the Type 10 remain concentrated in mainland regions where infrastructure and logistics are more favorable. This layered defense approach strongly resembles what the AFP may eventually require. The Philippines could potentially maintain heavier armored assets in key operational centers such as Luzon and Mindanao while deploying lighter-wheeled combat units for rapid response operations across forward islands and vulnerable areas. Such a structure would create a far more flexible and responsive defense posture. The logistics reality. Logistics often determines military effectiveness more than firepower alone. Japan possesses extensive railway infrastructure capable of transporting heavy military equipment efficiently across the country. Tanks and armored vehicles can move rapidly through freight rail systems connecting major regions. The Philippines currently lacks this capability. Although railway modernization projects continue, the country's heavy freight transport infrastructure remains limited after decades of underinvestment. This creates additional challenges for moving tracked armored formations over long distances. Wheeled combat vehicles partially solve this problem because they can self-deploy more easily using existing roads. This operational independence reduces reliance on specialized transport systems and enables faster military reaction times during emergencies. In modern warfare, the force that arrives first often gains a decisive advantage. Interoperability with existing Philippine systems. Another reason why the Type 16 MCV could attract Philippine interest lies in interoperability. The Type 16 and the Sabra light tank already share several important characteristics. Both platforms use 105mm main guns, allowing for ammunition commonality. Both also utilize 7.62mm NATO coaxial machine guns and diesel-powered engines. These similarities simplify logistics, maintenance, and battlefield resupply operations. Shared ammunition stocks are particularly valuable during prolonged combat operations, where supply chains may face disruption or delays. Interoperability also reduces training complexity for armored units operating different vehicle types within the same force structure. This could allow the Philippine Army to develop more integrated armored doctrines involving both tracked and wheeled units working together rather than operating separately. Growing defense ties between Japan and the Philippines. The possibility of future Philippine interest in systems like the Type 16 MCV is also becoming more realistic due to rapidly expanding defense cooperation between Manila and Tokyo. In recent years, Japan has gradually eased long-standing restrictions on defense exports, particularly toward trusted strategic partners. The Philippines has emerged as one of Japan's closest defense partners in Southeast Asia. Tokyo has already supplied coastal surveillance radars, patrol vessels, and maritime security assistance to Manila. Joint military exercises between Japanese and Philippine forces have also increased significantly.